Here's all the secrets of the universe for free. Look, this is a large file full of subfolders. If you want to dig through some of this for me, please do. It's too much for one man to read. Everything that you can name, think of, or imagine is a toroid. But what is a toroid? Well, a toroid is a vortex that's pretty hard to imagine in three-dimensional space. We're talking electromagnetism. Sure, the shape of it is a donut. This shows the motion of it in mathematical terms. All of the sacred geometry represents the torus field. And when we're talking about a toroid going through its motions, we're talking about cell division or cosmological evolution. This represents adaptation. This is the wave function of atoms and particles. The toroid going through its motions is how a star becomes a galaxy. What am I talking about? Well, if we look at this chart of 24 sacred geometric symbols, right here you can see cell division like a baby growing in a womb. This also represents the creation of the universe or the Big Bang. And this chart is progressive as you go through, ending, if you can see, in vector equilibrium. These symbols represent a process. This is the process represented mathematically. Toroids don't just spin around and do nothing. This all happens to produce a product. It has an end result. This is a process. What are they processing? What do toroids do? Hang on to your seats, this is gonna blow your mind. Well, there are man-made toroids all around you every day. What do we use them for? The toroids are used to step down or step up a voltage. That's important. Circuits such as power supplies, amplifiers, and inverters use toroids. Additionally, electrical equipment such as computers, televisions, audio systems, and radios use toroid coils. And in electronics, toroids step voltage down or they step it up. Toroids as a mechanism either decrease energy or increase energy. That's important. Let me say it again while we're looking at a human. The heart is the center of the toroidal field. Wait, this isn't imagined. Nobody's making this up. This is real. This is what you actually look like if you consider all the variables. What, are humans walking around on Earth like some kind of puny little star? Yes, literally. It's just that our eyes are not made to see the whole spectrum. It can easily be said that the purpose of a toroid in a human body is to ascend you or descend you. Increase your energy or decrease your energy. What do I mean? One example, an acorn is a toroid, and if the acorn completes its process as a seed successfully, meaning it falls into the ground and dies, then the toroidal nature of the acorn increases the energy and it becomes an oak tree. But if a squirrel comes by and snatches it, do squirrels eat acorns? I'd have to look that up. If something that eats acorns came by and snatched it up and ate it, and it didn't fall into the ground and die but got crunched up, well, at that point the toroid would decrease the energy, right? At the end of that process, it's not an oak tree, it is poop. Because the acorn is a toroid, it either becomes an oak tree or it perishes. This is the nature of reality everywhere all the time. Everything from particles to atoms, molecules, cells, individuals, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, galaxies, the whole universe, everything and everything in everything is toroidal. Everything either completes its toroidal process successfully and increases, or fails and decreases, life and more abundantly, or you perished. Ye must be born again, otherwise, where are you? So a sperm cell is a toroid, and when it has completed this process as a toroid successfully according to the instructions, what instructions? Well, the laws of physics, the commands of God who created it. If the sperm cell human seed follows the instructions given to it by the creator of heaven and earth, oh, you want to call it nature? Might as well say the instructions wrote the instructions. That is inexcusable by all logic and reason. Instructions only write instructions if they are instructed to. Like ChatGTP. You must instruct it first and then it can write you instructions. A fool says in his heart there is no God. Your heart is the center of your toroid field. Jesus was telling the truth. To claim that there is no God is to claim that you are God. All this happened by accident but produced you, a creative individual. You can create, but all the rest of this happened on its own. Something unintelligent and uncreative could not produce something intelligent and creative. Could it? Could it? Could it? Something intelligent and creative must exist first, and we are made in his image. And this proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt, but anyway. And now let me bore you with some heavy science. The center of our torus field is the heart. The heart generates the largest electromagnetic field around the body. You would use a toroid coil when working with electricity that has a low frequency. A toroid works as an inductor which boosts the frequency to appropriate levels. What about black holes? Are they toroids? Well, these astronomers at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics say, or rather they show, that a dusty torus is likely to be produced around a black hole. If there's dust, you'll be able to see the torus field. In the past, it had been postulated in order to explain the various morphologies, but had never been demonstrated even in a simulation. Secondly, the scientists show that the torus is not just a passive screen, it plays an active role in feeding gas and dust into the accretion disk around the black hole itself. The torus is the mechanism that feeds the black hole to increase its energy. It steps its voltage up, so to speak. Now, nothing I'm saying is going to actually catch on until after I die. That's just how this works. I know this, it doesn't bother me. What about the Milky Way galaxy? Is it a toroid? Well, it's got a black hole at the center of it, feeding it. It must be. Sagittarius A is a toroid, and it started as a star, and that's how it became a black hole, is because it is a toroid. This is from physics.org. Somebody found a striking anti-symmetry of the Faraday effects of cosmic radio sources in the sky with respect to the coordinates of our Milky Way galaxy, which tells that the magnetic fields in the halo of the Milky Way have a toroidal field structure, with reverse magnetic field directions below and above the something. Probably the galactic plane or something. I'm only concerned that we know that the Milky Way is absolutely proven to be a toroid. Because some will say galaxies can't be toroids because they only have one plane of spin, blah, blah, blah. But the plane of spin in the galaxy is this line right here. That's the one we can see. Here's your single direction spin right there. Whereas this is the Milky Way galaxy, it is a toroid. This is what it looks like in 4 dimensions, which we call space-time. The toroid in 4 dimensions doesn't look like this. Here is 4th dimensional impossible geometry in the 3rd dimension, represented in the 2nd dimension. This shows the impossible movement of the toroidal field. This is what the Milky Way galaxy actually looks like. The Milky Way galaxy is a mechanism organizing towards perfection, just like the acorn or the sperm cell. Like the star of Remphan says, as above, so below, from the micro to the macro, the earth being a pale reflection of heaven. Ye are gods, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Remember I said this is a progressive chart. Right before the mark of the beast comes quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a concept that transcends levels. Quantum entanglement exists from the micro to the macro, because this is a diagram of everything. This is a human life right here, from start to finish, from conception to death. The quantum entanglement is what decides how the rest of this process finishes out and what it's attached to. I'm talking about your heart. What is your heart entangled to? Tied up with? Made one with? What is your heart one with? I'm not making that up. Quantum entanglement has been observed. Nothing that enters by mouth can defile a man. It goes into his belly and then turns to waste. What defiles a man is what leaves his mouth from his heart. And that's a matter of, what is your heart entangled with? Rather, who? Who is your heart entangled with? And what is leaving your mouth because of that? Are you keeping the instructions? Because this is a process with commands to keep about what you say with your mouth that leaves through your heart. What do you confess? What do you believe? Does faith count here? 100%. Because what you believe is what you will do. And what you will do decides. The universe and everything in it is binary code. Yes or no. Obedience or disobedience. Life and more abundantly, or will you perish? Because this is a mechanism by which God is organizing all that He created into perfection. Even cosmological evolution tells this story. From dust to light, to stars, to galaxies. Cell division. From a single-celled sperm, the toroid completing its task, 30,000 times bigger than you were with many billions of cells. You're an entire universe now, with untold numbers of civilizations growing in every part of you and all over you. The most complex systems you can imagine, called cells, which are equal to little tiny metropolises. A cell is like a tiny little metropolis. Same complexity, same systems, same functions. And you're made of billions of them. And you're a home to all sorts of bacteria and fungus that you need in order to function as a human being and be alive. You're dependent on all these systems and civilizations, and you don't even regard their existence. How benevolent a God are you? A toroid is just spring, summer, fall, and winter. Ye must be born again. The successful completion of a toroidal vortex is a massive increase.